I have Nikolay Mikhalchuk from Tawa Ducks. Thank you for joining us tonight in our fourth episode of Alpha One-on-One. So you grew up in, I want to go to the start of things. So you grew up in Kazakhstan, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about your life growing up in Kazakhstan?
Oh, like the usual kid, you know. I don't even really play any sports, you know, but then all of a sudden I watch NBA games and I just fall in love with basketball. Yeah, mostly because of NBA and NBA players, NBA stars. You know, so I came from a really small town near our capital now. In Kazakhstan, we like to change capitals. You know? It's okay. So now, so I'm from really small town. So just me and my mates, we just started playing basketball because we were so passionate about it, and just started playing in my city, then in my region, then started to play for my national team. So yeah, I started to play really early.
How old were you?
So I already started playing for national team when I was 17.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and when I was 16, I was selected to a sports school. So, like in Kazakhstan, we have special school for kids who is like outstanding in different sports. So basically, it's a school plus your accommodation. You're away from home. So only you and your mates and some different other sports. We have fun with wrestlers and boxers. You know?
Oh, okay.
Really cool guys. Yeah. So away from So from the age of 16, I'm away from my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many years were you away?
So yeah, then away. Like, you know, my mom came to visit me, so I started to live in Almaty. So play basketball in Almaty, play professionally in Almaty. Then I started to manage teams in Almaty.
Okay.
Then I moved from Almaty to Astana.
Okay.
Yeah, so always away from a small town where I started playing basketball. So.
How much did FIBA influence? Because I know you already said NBA. You watch NBA players, but did FIBA actually play a role in influence, or was it mostly just NBA?
No, mostly NBA. Like in Kazakhstan, it's all about NBA guys, and like all from states. But then when you grow up, when you start to play organized basketball, and your level go up, then you understand that it's different game from NBA. Like you understand, oh, there's FIBA, there's EuroLeague, and your local domestic league, which is really good, but really different from NBA. So from childhood, it's all NBA, but then when you go up in level and you grow up, you understand. And when you start to learn the game, you understand it's different game, completely different game somewhere, so which is FIBA. Yeah, and not only FIBA, different leagues.
Well, because Kazakhstan didn't have a national team until the 90s, correct? Was it 1992 the national team?
So in 1991, Soviet Union collapsed.
Yeah.
So Kazakhstan used to be a part of Soviet Union, like legendary Soviet Union. So for example, guys like, maybe you know Sabonis. Yeah. His son is playing now, but there is another Sabonis, Arvidas, who's like a legend.
Yeah, in the 80s he was a really good player.
In Soviet Union, and he didn't go to NBA because of war. Soviet and United States, so it's difficult back in the day. So Kazakhstan, part of Soviet Union, no business to represent Kazakhstan itself, like Lithuania, Georgia, all other countries. Same with Yugoslavia. You know, when Yugoslavia collapses in different countries, like Croatia, now Slovenia, playing Serbia, but used to be one country. So Kazakhstan started to play from 1991, but the problem with Kazakhstan, when Soviet Union collapsed, all the coaches and all the players, they moved from Kazakhstan immediately to Russia. Because Russia, all the money, you know, still a big league, so they're like, oh, we don't want to stay here, we just all go.
So all to CSKA Moscow?
Yeah. Because we have CSK, but in Almaty. So CSK Almaty is part of like a big military club. Yeah. So same like CSK Moscow, but CSK Almaty. So all the guys from CSK Almaty, they're, oh, we don't want to stay here, we go to Samara, which is not far from Kazakhstan, but it's Russian city. So the whole team and coaching staff, they all moved from Kazakhstan. And in 1991, Kazakhstan left out without players and without coaches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so really tough time for basketball, so they just start to build.
But now it's built up a little bit now, because now it's around 70, 75, the rank of Kazakhstan?
Yeah, I think recent 175.
Yeah.
But used to be better. We have like some players who grew up in Soviet Union and stayed in Kazakhstan, and some youth. So all the combination, like in 2007, I remember when I was manager of my national team, we finished 4th in Asia. So it was, I think first one, Iran, then Lebanon, Korea and Kazakhstan.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Stankovic Cup, 2008 we finished second. Yeah, so we had some success in Asia region, but now it's so tough because New Zealand part of Asia, Australia part of Asia, and we don't really have experienced players. We have like some young guys, and the problem now, because basketball now international sport, so you have foreign players.
Yeah.
And clubs, they want a success immediately, so they bring a lot of foreign players. And your domestic players, like, okay, I'm on the bench. It's reality. You cannot go, but you know, sometimes it's just a reflection of your national team.
Yeah, I saw when I lived in Beijing, I saw the same thing with the Beijing League. Each team is allowed to bring 2 foreign players into the team, and they start to dominate. Like a lot of former NBA players came in, like Stephon Marbury and stuff like that.
It's different.
I wanted to ask you, how much did Aljan Jamedkov, do you remember him? He played in the 70s. He's like Kazakhstan. Yeah. How much did he play? Much of influence in?
Not really, you know, because he's like, you know, I started to play. I was always looking for NBA guys.
Oh, okay.
For me, like, oh, who's this? The Sabonis or the Soviet guys, nobody. But then when I realized how good they are, I started to look at them. And my generation was not my generation. The players I looked at, Marciulionis, Sabonis. And I was really fortunate that one of the guys, Olympic champion, Valery Tikhonenko, he's a legend of Kazakhstan basketball. He was my boss.
Oh, yeah.
I worked next to him for 7 years in Kazakhstan. Great person. And Olympic champion in 1988, beat USA.
Yeah.
He has a medal, you know. Not a lot of people has a medal. Yeah. So, but another guy you mentioned, he's a legend. He's playing a huge role in Kazakhstan because he goes and do clinics for kids and for youth coaches. So, and in Almaty mostly, because I moved from Almaty, so I'm mostly in Astana. Yeah. But all of the players who played in Soviet Union in Kazakhstan, they tried to you know, put something into development, to come back to Kazakhstan, do clinic, because he's living in Russia, I think, in Moscow now.
Oh, okay. That's a good little history for the viewers, because I'm sure not many people know about basketball in Kazakhstan.
Even I think Soviet Union is like Russia, because basketball in Russia is big and growing too, but people mostly look at NBA, some of them EuroLeague, but NBA.
Is basketball one of the top sports in Kazakhstan, or is it most, because you know boxing is pretty popular, weightlifting,
wrestling, Kazakhstan. You know, FIBA helps a lot with this new system.
Oh, yeah, it does.
When you play home away with your national team. I think similar for New Zealand. So now people in New Zealand can watch top leagues play, which is unique. And same with Kazakhstan, because used to be it's Asian Championship. So you go China, you go India, no one even know that you have a national team. But now your players play at home. It helps. I think it will help more.
That's pretty cool.
Basketball. Yeah, I think so. I think FIBA doing a smart thing. It's not easy. Yeah. Because there is bigger conflict with professional clubs and national teams. But I think FIBA doing what is best for developing of sport in different countries.
Okay. When you mentioned NBA players, what are some of the players that influenced you the most, especially when you were young?
Look, I have huge respect for all the players, all levels. Because look, I understand how tough to be last man on the bench. It was my role for a couple of seasons, and I understand it's bloody worst job to be a last guy on the bench. Yeah. So when I was watching NBA, I tried to pay attention to all the players. So I was, I really liked the guy. Passed away, Anthony Mason.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Strong guy, lefty.
On the Knicks.
On the Knicks. Like, who's this guy? Well, he was so good, but then he played in Miami Heat, Charlotte Hornets, then Byron Davis came. I was like, who is this guy? Small, but he was going, dunking on people, And then all the legends, like Kobe Bryant. This guy is amazing, You're watching Kobe Bryant. I was lucky to watch some of Chicago Bulls. All of them.
So you were, what was it, mostly mid-90s is where you started watching?
Yeah, I think you remember finals Bulls against Sonics. I think it's 1996.
No, 96 and 97 was Jazz, right?
So it's
95.
95, yeah.
Yeah, 95, 96.
Yeah, I watched the whole finals. Yeah, when I was a kid, it's amazing. Luke Longley. This guy is not far from here. Australian, yeah. And then you have Tony Kukoc, who's Croatian.
Yeah.
That's Ron Harper, Steve Kerr, who's now a legendary coach.
Dennis Rodman came on in the last few years.
So I'm trying to pay attention to all the players. Because even player can come and play 5 minutes, but his 5 minutes can be crucial. And some of the young guys, they're like, oh, this guy scored 50, he's the best. But it's not true, you know, sometimes. Yeah.
So, you're probably one of the most pure shooters in the Alpha League you know, especially from the three-point range. Did you work hard on that shot, or is it come naturally?
No,
or?
it's came naturally with all the injuries, you know. Okay. When you're slow, you cannot really go, and you cannot really dunk, and you cannot really post up. So you have one way out, which is three-point shooting. So I think this is so good, you know. When you have, when I was playing, I used to do a lot of mid-range and drives, but then a lot of injuries, and I stopped playing as a pro. So I tried to develop, because you know you can be really important for your team.
Yeah.
If you're afraid from three-point shooting, not because only you make him, but you kind of stretch the floor with your abilities.
Yeah.
So different. Wow, pay attention to this guy; he can score. And then some other, there's open lanes for other players.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I can have my 5-7 minutes if I can score a couple of three-point shots, which is, I think, true for a lot of players. Especially if you're good in defense, you will always find some time on it.
Well, how do you feel? Because I'm a little older than you, so in my time, when the three-point shot has not evolved as it is in today's game. Today's game, it seems like it's all about the three-point shot now, and you have players shooting almost at half court. And in my day, when you shot a three-pointer, like 40 three-pointers, the coach would be screaming. You'd be sitting on the bench. Especially if you took a three-pointer on a fast break, you're on the bench for the rest of the game. So how do you feel about the way the three-pointer has revolutionized basketball?
I think honestly, game is changing now. With a lot of guys shooting a lot of three-point shots now.
Even centers.
Like in Europe, if
Europe,
it's
big, common. Was it?
If you cannot score from three-point line, you out. Like, oh, we take another guy. this big guy, he can score. Because it's all about to stretch the floor. You know, penetration, kick out. It's all about basketball now. And when you play, for example, pick and roll, in Europe, everyone likes to play pick and pops. Screen and pop, three-point shot. So it's a completely different game. And as you said, right now, some coaches, they're like, okay, take three-point shot in the fast break. Like, I remember my days, you take you out for a couple games.
You can't do that.
You like, coach will put this line, cheer is for you, man. You see it in a couple of games, you wait. But now it's different. Now all the coaches, they want to create three-point shots. They want to have a lot of three-point shooters. And if you have 4 three-point shooters on your team, if you hot, no team can stop you. The only problem is with three-point shooting is sometimes when you're cold, it can cost you a game. And if you have legit bigs, you're always in the game, you know, because they're more consistent.
We have a saying in America about basketball: you live by the three, you die by the three.
Same in Russia.
So how do you feel? Do you feel that it's marginalizing big men? Because obviously America is different than Europe. European big men have more of a nice touch, you know, they can shoot. American big men, it's all about, from the time they're small, not that small, by the time they're teenagers, it's all about in the paint. Develop that in the paint, dunks, the little baby hooks. They never develop much of an outside shot. So do you feel like the way the game is, the three-point has revolutionized the game, do you feel it's pushed big men out? Traditional big men?
I think a bit, because all the coaches now, they're looking for big men who can score. And you know, some big guys, like I really respect, who can set the good screens, you know, play under the basket in low post, finish with a dunk. Some coaches, they're like, oh, we don't need. And like some guys, like Porzingis, for example, you see this guy, Porzingis, he's supposed to play under the basket, but he's never under the basket. Maybe he's afraid, I don't know. But he's so good with his three-point shooting.
Too skinny, that's why.
Too skinny, maybe not strong enough, but still, he's amazing. And a lot of guys like this. Look at Kevin Durant. He's so tall, he's supposed to play close to the basket. No, he's straight.
He plays like a wing.
Like a shooting guard. And now he's one of the best players in the world. So game is changing, but again, it's all about tendencies. Now you can have different coach, and maybe you can superstar player like Shaq, for example, or Yao. And again, everyone, maybe we need to come back. So for me, it's kind of circles, you know. So now we're in a three-point era, or maybe soon it will be different. Who knows?
It just makes me wonder, like, if Shaquille O'Neal or Yao Ming came into the league now, would they survive?
I think they're just outstanding. Different somehow. I think. But the game is different. The game is completely different. Completely different.
So how do you feel about tonight? How do you? Because you're facing up against a tough Raw Dogs team. They have 5. I mean, it's not just 5. The whole team is really good, but I mean, their 5 starters are. All of them can shoot. All of them can drive. All of them can pass. All of them play defense. So what is? How do you attack that?
Look, Raw Dogs. I hate them, but I hate them in a good way because they also good. I played with them several times, and all of them can, as you said, like, and they played together, I think, for a long time.
Yeah, the chemistry is amazing.
Chemistry is amazing. So like, you chasing like, and I remember last game we played, and one guy came from the bench. He's like, okay, this guy, he will not score. He's like made 6 3-point shots. I was like, okay, I give him some space. Boom, boom, boom. Not again. Yeah. So I think we'll do our best on defense. Try to just, close passing lanes and. Let's hope they will be cold.
What do you feel is the most important factor in tonight's game in order for the Ducks to win?
I think we need to fight on defense. We need to sacrifice on defense, and then make open shots. I think we have enough talent to be in fight with them. But as you said, it's really tough because they're so good. The chemistry is so good. But if we can, stay close till the fourth quarter, who knows?
And how do you feel like the season overall has gone for the Ducks? Because compared to last season, I know you weren't with the Ducks last season. They only lost 1 game until they got to the semifinals. This season's been a little more of a rough stretch. I think you guys barely over 500, but obviously it's not too bad because you guys got to the finals. But overall, how do you feel the season has gone for you guys?
I think it's a good season. I think key in our league, Alpha League, is everyone to show up, and unfortunately not. All our starters, all star players could be on, especially in some tough games which we lost. But I think now, semi-finals, all the squad came, so we played this game. Well, hoping today everyone will be here. So I think it's the key for any team in Alpha League. If everyone show up, it's different. Because sometimes with 5, 6 players, it's not enough to be competitive. And if you're missing some star players, it's tough. So I think key of our inconsistent performance this season is sometimes we didn't have numbers, we didn't have our best players.
Okay. And you mentioned, your experience in Kazakhstan as a coach, as a player.
As a manager.
As a manager, I'm sorry. Do you do any of that stuff in New Zealand as well? Or?
Yes. Now I'm working for Basketball New Zealand.
Oh, great.
And I'm responsible for all age group teams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful that Basketball New Zealand decided to give me a chance. And I think mostly because of my connection in FIBA Asia region, because now New Zealand became part of Asia, and not only Tall Blacks, but age group teams as well. So with my connections in this region, it helps.
That's great.
So I'm just trying my best for youth in New Zealand.
Are you planning on staying here for the long term, or?
I plan to stay here because I have 3 kids, and I think New Zealand is an excellent place for raise your kids. Because it's so safe. And my kids just enjoying it.
Are you teaching them to play basketball?
I do. I'm trying my best. No, I'm not tough. I'm just like, let's go. You'll make your shot next time. So I'm not a tough coach.
Well, thank you very much for joining us for the brief chat tonight, and I wish you and the rest of your team hopefully a win tonight against a very tough team, and hopefully, we'll see what comes.
My pleasure.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.